Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Sadia Education Wali, and currently I'm enrolled in Teacher Training Bootcamp 1. So today we will talk with ChatGPT, and our topic is discuss how to develop a reading habit and expand your mind. So let's start. Hello, ChatGPT. My name is Sadia Education Wali, and
Hi, Sadia.
today we will discuss about how to develop a reading habit and expand your mind. So,
hmm
my first question is, what is developing a reading habit important in today's fast-paced digital world, and how does reading help expand our knowledge, creativity, and critical thinking?
That's a great question. So, in today's super digital world, reading deeply, not just scrolling, helps your brain slow down and absorb ideas. It builds a kind of mental muscle for focus and reflection. When you read books that challenge you, you're not just taking in facts, you're training your brain to see patterns, to connect those ideas, and to imagine different perspectives that you might not have considered before. Compared to quick social media hits, reading really helps improve critical thinking because you have to interpret and analyze, not just skim. It eventually makes you more creative too, since you have more mental raw material to play with, more ideas and stories to spark new ideas of your own.
Okay, so ChatGPT, my next question is, what are the biggest challenges people face when trying to build a reading habit, and how can beginners start reading consistently without feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest hurdle is starting small. A lot of people set goals that are just way too big, like finishing a book a week, and that feels exhausting fast. Instead, think bite sized, maybe 10 pages a night. Another common struggle is distraction, like phone buzzing or, Netflix autoplay. A little trick is to set a specific time, like right after morning coffee or before bed, and keep the book right there, right next to you. Make it easy to pick up. And if you miss a day, don't sweat it. Habits stick when they feel flexible, not punishing. So, progress, not perfection, that's what actually keeps it growing.
Okay, so ChatGPT, my next question is, how can beginners start reading continuously without feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, totally. So, the trick is to treat reading like a daily ritual. You pick something that actually interests you, not what you think you should read. And don't pressure yourself to cover huge chunks. Even 5 minutes a day counts. And if you use audiobooks sometimes, that totally counts too, since it's still engaging with ideas. And keep a little notebook nearby. Jot down one line about what stood out. That tiny act makes the experience stick more. And over time, those small, consistent moments add up into a real reading habit without that overwhelm feeling. Start tiny, like micro tiny. Enjoy it.
Okay, so my next question is, how can parents and teachers encourage children to develop a lifelong love of reading?
Yeah, this one's big. Honestly, kids can tell if reading feels like a chore or a punishment. Instead, make it a shared joyful thing, like parents reading aloud with expression, even doing funny voices. Teachers can set up cozy reading corners instead of
टाइम नीचे देख लेना जरा ये चेयर नीचे मारो इसको बंद करो इसको बंद करो
yeah, make it a nightly reading ritual.
Okay,
Let
okay. So ChatGPT. My next question is, how can parents and teacher encourage children to develop a lifelong love of reading?
right, yeah. So making reading feel warm and fun is key. Like reading aloud with expression, doing silly voices, or letting kids pick what lights them up, like comics, sports stories, even magazines. Teachers can model excitement, like showing their own favorite books instead of only assigning readings. If children see adults actually enjoy reading the newspaper with coffee or getting lost in a novel, kids notice and make it social, like book chats instead of tests. When reading feels like discovery or connection, not a task, that's what plants the seed for a lifelong love of reading.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, my next question is, how can reading improve communication, writing, and decision making skills? And what role does technology play in promoting reading through ebooks, audiobooks, and reading apps?
Hmm. Checking. Right. So reading sharpens how you express ideas, listen more deeply, and write with more clarity. You'll notice your vocabulary expands naturally and thinking becomes more critical because books push you to weigh perspectives, spot bias, and make more informed choices. Now, tech can help if used smartly. Ebooks are convenient and have built in dictionaries. Audiobooks let you absorb stories while commuting or doing chores. Reading apps can track habits and nudge consistency. The trick is to avoid getting pulled into distractions on those devices. So use playlists, set minimal notifications, treat the device as a tool, not a distraction. So when balanced well, tech can make reading more accessible and flexible, which helps keep that habit alive over time.
Okay, so ChatGPT, which books, authors, or resources would you recommend it for personal growth and long life learning?
Hmm. That's a great question. If you're aiming for personal growth, I'd start with a mix. For mindset, Atomic Habits by James Clear is solid. For communication, How to Win Friends and Influence People, classic and crucial conversations for those tough talks. For deeper learning, Make It Stick explains how to learn more effectively. Online, you can pair those with quality podcasts, TED Talks, and platforms like Coursera, edX, or Khan Academy. And my simple tip, just read a few pages a day. Write down the key takeaway and try one new action from it. That's how reading turns into real lifelong learning.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, how can reading help students, professionals, and entrepreneurs achieve greater success? And what is your final message for anyone who wants to develop a strong reading habit and continuously expand their mind?
Checking. Reading is like compound interest for the mind. For students, it builds vocabulary, comprehension, and critical thinking. For professionals, it keeps skills fresh and sharpens communication. And for entrepreneurs, Reading sparks ideas, helps spot opportunities, and learn from others' successes and mistakes. My final message: you don't need to read a ton of books all at once. Just choose one that really interests you and read it slowly. Write down one takeaway and try to use it, because knowledge grows when you use it. Stay curious, keep learning, and let each book make you a little wiser and a little more thoughtful than before. I wish you all the best on your reading journey.
Okay, so thank you so much, ChatGPT, for sharing your valuable insights. Allah
You're
Hafiz.
welcome. I'm glad. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, everyone. Allah Hafiz.